Hey guys, just riding around on my Ninja in some small ass town. Yeah, I went to the racetrack. They were closed. Somebody had rented the place for the day, so I couldn't do any riding. Met a couple other guys there. Was talking with them. It was funny. I was talking to one of the guys, and there's like two guys, and they'd gone to the track too, same as me, and they couldn't ride. And I started chatting with them, and one of the guys at one point in the conversation, one of the guys says, "Are you married?" And he says, "Because I'm gay and I really want to go down on you." And I was like, "What?" No, I'm just kidding. He just said, like, "Are you married?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he laughed and he goes, "Taiwan wives are very aggressive," or like, "xiong." It kind of means like aggressive. It makes more sense in Chinese. He goes, "They're very aggressive, aren't they?" And I'm like, it's not so much aggressive. It's just low class. Like, I'm like, he's like, yeah. He goes, my wife's like that too. He goes, and his wife too. He's like, and he's like, and it's not like that before you get married, is it? And I'm like, no, it isn't. He's like, before you get married, it's like, oh, honey, are you gonna go ride your bike again today? And then after you get married, it's like, what? You're riding your bike today? Why did you get? You know, and it's just. And he just laughed. But he took it all in stride. I'm not taking it in stride. I'm like, you know, he's laughing about it. I'm like suicidal about it. So there's a difference. I'm guessing his wife's not as bad as mine though. My wife just yells about everything, everything. Like shit. I get yelled at for leaving a light bulb on for like 10 minutes straight. And you guys probably think I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, a waste of a morning. Could have done some shit at home this morning, but no. Go to the racetrack, sit there for 2 hours, chat with some guys. Well, chatting with them was fun enough, you know. It's nice talking with the locals. I don't actually have a lot of local friends, as I pointed out. Um, for one thing, like when I hang around with some of the, even like some of the clubs that I ride with, when I hang around with them, they often like they they get they eat a lot of seafood, and they go to these local restaurants that serve local foods that I just don't like. And some of you are like, "Oh, what do you mean?" I get some stupid ass fucking comments, like when I'm sometimes I'll talk about the fact that I don't like the food or something, and the people will be like, "Oh, you're such an American. You know, you go to a foreign country and you don't even eat their food." And it's like, you don't even. First of all, have you tried the food here? You know, just because you're in a country doesn't mean you have to change your 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 tastes in food. Like, grab a brain. You know, like there are some things I like, but I'd say the majority of it I don't like. I like the simpler stuff, like fried rice, fried noodles, whatever. You know. But a lot of the stuff, like they serve it. There's this thing called like yoji. It's like oily chicken. It's pretty much like raw chicken. It's just like a plate with chicken and blood, and it's raw, and it's just like white fleshy chicken. You know, it's just okay. So the guys on my tour, uh, there was one night where one of the first nights they were here, and we had a very busy day, and then when it came to dinner time, I had to go do some preparations, and I told them to go to this place and to this place to eat. And then one of the locals at the hotel told them, "Oh, no, 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 you don't want to go there to eat. You want to go, let's go get some local food. Let's go get some Taiwanese food." And they took them to a restaurant, and one of the things they were served was that yoji, and they want to vomit just looking at it. You know, it's just bloody raw chicken, and they said that they pretty much like they ate. There was like one or two. They had like 8 plates of food. It's like a kind of like buffet style, but at your own table. They bring out a bunch of plates and you just pick and choose. And they said out of the 8 plates that they were brought to the table, they ate from like 2 of them, and the other 6 they pretty much didn't touch. So, and then the person that invited them out was kind of embarrassed or depressed, let down, because they realized that they didn't like any of it. And I told them, "Well, you should have went to the place where I told you to go." Um, yeah. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. So if I'm hanging out with a local, sometimes it gets hello. Oh, she's pretty, eh? if I'm hanging out with the locals, sometimes it gets, whenever they go someplace to eat or something, I end up like just not going in because I know I'm not gonna like anything. And not only that, not only will I not like it, but it's sometimes expensive. So if I go in with them, I end up spending more money than I'd normally spend on a meal and not liking any of it. So there's really no. So I used to go in with them just out of politeness, and I would just eat a little bit. But it's like it's expensive, and I'm not eating anything. So I finally I just said no. I'll just go somewhere else. They understand. I'm a foreigner. I don't like foreign food. Foreign to me. Chinese fire drill. So yeah, and then what else? Yeah, and then plus most of the locals that I know, they work long hours. Most of the guys that I know work at motorcycle shops, and the norm for a motorcycle shop is to work 12-hour days from like 10 in the morning until 10 at night. So how am I supposed to hang around with them? And what they normally do is just when they get off work, maybe at 10 o'clock at night, sometimes they're so bored to death that when they get off of work at 10 o'clock at night, they'll go for a ride at that time, 10 o'clock at night, up into the mountains or something. But I'm getting my son ready for bed at 10 o'clock at night. What's this car doing, man? You got 30 more seconds on the red light, and you're creeping forward. Why? And and this box right here is for motorcycles only. So he's already run the red light by far, by like 12 feet. I actually want to turn right here, but I'm not gonna, just because this car. Look, he's creeping up again. You got 8 more seconds, buddy. I honestly think he stopped in front of me because I'm on a bike, and he thinks he's in a fast car because it's a BMW. Slow-ass car is not even in sight. Sell the BMW. Get this bike. It's a fraction of the cost of your BMW. And I'm gonna go back the way. Now I'm like doubling back. Fucking losers.